So, what is Conversations with Coryelle all about? It's a weekly series on a wide variety of topics, from the metaphysical to the philosophical, from the erotic to the exotic, from the mystical to the spiritual. It's all about showing you how to enhance your life. And I'll also be showing you ways on how you can enhance your animals' lives too. I'll be joined by host Kevin McDonald. I'm happy to have you here. Now let's have a conversation.
That is the prettiest kitty on that opening. That who is that?
That's my boy Sammy.
Is Sammy gone, transitioned?
Yeah, he transitioned in August.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He's
Yeah.
a beautiful boy.
He was. He is. He's very, very special. I'll be actually talking a little bit about Sammy when we do the episode on the sixth animal, or actually I should say blueprint, because it's for people and for animals. So that will be coming up, I think, soon.
Very cool. By the way, that's Coryelle Kramer sitting over there, and my name is Kevin McDonald, and this is my Independence Report. Please subscribe to this channel so it can grow, so that we can do more things and we can have a bigger footprint, and I can get people like that one at yeah, I got a big footprint all by myself, but I want to be Bigfoot. So I want Coryelle to be really have a lot going on. So and next week, speaking of which of going on, we've got a really special conversations with Coryelle, don't we?
I think, yeah, we're going to have a guest on, and it's a woman who I admire very much. But we're going to be, and her name is Natalie Kabajian, and you can find her on Facebook. She's one of my friends, and she's an amazing human being. She's a blueprint coach. We went through the certification together. And she's also an amazing, amazing, talented pole dancer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do something that I think I'm going to carry on every once in a while, and it's called the Pleasure Hour. So we're going to be talking about different ways you can bring more pleasure into your life, because it is about having joy. It is about being happy. It is about, pleasure. And pleasure doesn't necessarily mean, sexual. It's not always about sex. It's about pleasure, little things that you can do to make yourself happy and to bring more joy into your life, and through joy bring more aliveness into your life. So it's going to be a fun hour, absolutely. And then that's next week.
It kind of releases when you're having a pleasurable experience, it releases the dopamine and the serotonin and all that stuff to make you
endorphins, yes,
to make you feel really good and really happy and really special, because we all deserve, that's the one thing that kills me. I've been doing this for a while, as you know. The one thing that kills me is so many people who do not believe that they deserve to be happy. Drives me crazy.
Yeah, and some of it is really and truly people not tuning into what makes them feel good. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. It's all about your feelings. Your feelings are very, very important. And, some people, I was shocked when I started doing the certification, and I was even having trouble finding pleasure. So what they would do is they would always start the course. Every call would start with something called pleasure first. So they would ask you to tune into a place on your body that felt good, and I even had a hard time tuning into it at first. It would be like the top of my left ear or something, but I would really have to look for it and train myself, because we have trained ourselves so well not to tone down our happy, to turn down our happy, to turn down our pleasure. So we have toned ourselves out, which is one of the things about COVID that's making people so crazy about COVID is that it's really forcing you to sit with you, get to know you, be with you. So yeah, it can be very interesting.
And a lot of times that, you weren't that interesting to you. And so you just assume not, you know what I mean? You just assume not sit there with yourself but
Yeah, and that's okay too. That's
yeah,
okay too, but you can't do that all the time,
right.
you know?
Right. So we're going to talk about medicine. We're going to talk about traditional and Western medicine and Eastern medicine. And then we're going to talk about feeling into your animals, which I have no idea about and you know everything about. So then I'm going to turn this kind of thing over to you.
Yeah, so it's about really feeling into this. So what this is about is, first and foremost, what I want to say is this is nothing political. I'm not taking either side, okay? It's not about that. This is about, somebody wrote on the post I did on my Facebook page about for the show, they wrote, "I love the freedom in the wording that I chose." It's not about right or wrong. It's not about good or bad. It's not one thing is better than the other. This is simply about finding what works for you and finding what works for your animal in every situation, because every situation is different. Okay. So the first and foremost, what I want to say is that it's really and truly about aligned action. So aligned action, what is that? Aligned action is usually what feels right to you. Because what feels right to you, an action that feels right to you, you are lined up with the outcome of that action. As opposed to unaligned action, which is you got to kind of like rev yourself up in order to do that thing, whatever that is. So let's say doing your taxes. If you line up with it, if you're not lined up with it that day, then don't do it that day. Put it off until it feels like you're lined up with it, because it's going to go smoother as opposed to going down the speed bumps, you know? So align action, that's powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. So when you're lined up with feeling good, with doing what you're doing, whatever that is, it goes smoother. So for example, you go to the supermarket, but you're not really up for going to the supermarket. It feels like it's a chore. It feels like it's a pain in the ass. It feels like it's going to be like, oh. And then what happens usually, start noticing when you feel that way, what's happening around you. What's happening, what's happening, because it's very interesting. If you're not lined up with doing an action, you get stuck in lines for a long time. You can't find the stuff that you want. You might be dropping things on the floor. They might be out of your favorite organic mayonnaise, things like that there. It's funny. It is funny, but it's true, because
It
this
is.
is about vibration. And whatever you're vibrating is what you're putting out there. This is why we when we're feeling really good, we don't, when we're feeling happy about life and we're like, yeah, baby, this feels good. You find people who feel the same way. You gravitate towards them. Things go easier. You go into the Social Security office, and you're flying through the line. You get the most helpful person in the counter, at the service desk. You're in the flow. So, and when you're not having a good day, notice what happens. Oh, isn't this interesting? I'm attracting people who are also a little bit bitchy. I'm driving in traffic and people are all asshats, and oh, I'm stuck in traffic. Isn't this interesting? So, and at the moment you understand and you notice that feeling of being in the flow and the feeling of not being in the flow, it's finding ways to get into the flow is much easier. So what I'm trying to say is that aligned action, you want to line up as much as you possibly can with whatever you're doing. So Okay, so how do I feel into this? How do I know the difference? So it's quite simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it first until you get really tuned in. And again, it might take you a little bit to tune in, and that's okay. But take extremes. So take if you want to do traditional and alternative medicine for you, okay, take extremes and see how they feel so you can get that knowing of that feeling. So, okay, so say this, I break my leg, God forbid. I break my leg. Does going to the emergency room feel better or does going to the acupuncturist feel better? Well, acupuncturist, that's crazy. But feel
Yeah.
into that feeling, that disconnect, that like, what? That's crazy. I'm going to go to the dentist or the acupuncturist with a broken leg. That doesn't make sense. Going to the doctor, that feels better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then afterwards, maybe once I get my leg set, in order to help it heal more, what feels better? Going to the acupuncturist, maybe to clear that energy out of my chi, or to take, medications for it, whether it's painkillers or whatever. Well, the painkillers don't really feel good. Acupuncturist, that feels a little bit better. Okay, all right, so I'm going to line up with that. See, it's about how you feel towards it. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing that is it's coming to fruition in our lifetime, and that is that opiates are now doctors are refusing to prescribe opiates.
Mhm.
So there really isn't a great pain medication that you can get from your traditional doctor. However, an acupuncturist might be able to do a lot better of a job for you these days.
That's yeah, that's absolutely true. But again, it's what I don't care what you choose. It's what feels right to you
Right.
because
Exactly.
whatever lines you up, whatever lights you up, whatever floats your boat is what's right for you. And you're gonna get healing results from that.
I got to ask you though, because you're so tuned in. Some of us are scattered. Some of us are thinking all sorts of stuff, and we can't focus on anything specifically. How do you suggest that people quiet their mind and focus on the objective that they want to reach?
I think it's a matter of doing the tuning in with the feeling. So again, taking extremes. Okay, I'm going to get I'm going to get my hair colored. I'll go to the chiropractor.
I don't.
And you're like, "No, that doesn't feel right." Right. Get that feeling. Hone that feeling. Feel that feeling. I'm going to go to my hairstylist to get my hair colored. I'm not going to go to the chiropractor. I'm going to go to the chiropractor though when I need and then you can when I need to feel good. My lower back hurts. Do I want to go to a massage or do I want to go to the chiropractor? Chiropractor feels like it's something that I need to do right now. Massage might be afterwards, but I really got to feel like it. I am feeling into it, and it feels like I want to go towards the chiropractor first. And then quieting your mind. I mean, you don't have to. I'm a big proponent in just quiet time. I don't call it meditation. I mean, you can call it meditation, but people have a very they think, immediately you say the word meditation, they're like, "Oh God, I don't have time to sit for 2 hours." It's like,
Right.
I'm not telling you to sit for 2 hours. Set the timer for 5 minutes. A 5-minute meditation is better than no meditation. A 2-minute meditation is better than no meditation. A 2-minute quiet time is better than none at all, because again, it's lining up it's taking the time to make sure you're vibrationally lined up with your day, your evening, your afternoon, you the whole 9 yards.
So even if you were in one of those bad days and the traffic lights were against you and the checker was against
Yeah.
you and all of that stuff, if you were to take 5 minutes, if you were to analyze it and look at it and say, I'm really having a crappy day, I need to reset.
Mhm.
Will meditation help you if you do a 5-10 minute meditation? Will that help you reset your day?
It could. It could. Or you can use other things. You can use things like, an appreciation list, a quick appreciation list. Look around you right now and give me 5 things that you appreciate. You know, some it helps to retune your body. Of course, you don't do this while you're driving the car. Don't do a meditation unless you're stuck in traffic, but even then I wouldn't do it. I'd wait until you get home. But it's about traditional medicine has its place. It has its place. Okay, it does. Yeah, do I want to do traditional medicine all the time? For me, it doesn't feel like I need to do it all the time, but that's okay. But if I break my leg, yeah, I'm sure shooting going to be going to the doctor. I'm not going to be going to the acupuncturist. That the alternative has its place. There are some things that only Western medicine can do. There are some things that only alternative medicine can do. The alternative, the Western medicine heals or tries to heal the body and heals the body sometimes. Okay, but the alternative heals the body, the mind, the spirit. You know, so again, it feels you got to feel into it. You got to get yourself into the habit of knowing um when you're in the flow and when you're not.
How do you know that?
It's the feeling. I can't really tell. It's a because everybody's different. You just know when. So take times in your life. Remember times in your life when you felt really in the flow. Okay, it felt like everything was synchronicity and I feel good in my body. I feel good in my mind. And remember that and bring that into your present because that's what you're looking for, and then use it as your Geiger counter to find that feeling again, so what it feels like. So the more often you do this feeling into how you feel, um the more often it will become second nature. But it's not going to become second nature if you take it off the shelf every 2 weeks. But if you start doing it on a more consistent basis, it becomes a habit of thought and you're retraining your brain.
And that's kind of what you do, isn't it? Because you're always reassessing. Seems to me every time I talk to you, you're reassessing on a day by day basis of how you're feeling, of what's going on with you, what's going on with your work, what's going on in your world, and you're constantly reassessing that to provide yourself with the best outcome. Is that
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. I mean, yeah, do I have my good days and my bad days? Of course. And I'm able to say and recognize it. There's a saying in the program, in programs, it's like when you what was the saying? When you realize that you have a problem, that's when you have a problem. So the first step in healing your problem is recognizing that you have a problem to begin with. Okay? So um you can't start working on going through the program of AA, so to speak, unless you believe that there's a problem. Because you're in denial, then you're in denial. Oh, I'm fine. I don't have a drinking problem. It's like, well, then you don't have a drinking problem. There you go. So it's like, but once you understand that there's a problem, then you can start healing that. So when you look at it and you look and you say, I'm not really lined up with my health today, or I'm not right now at this hot moment. I'm not really, I'm feeling a little impatient. I'm feeling a little angry. I'm feeling a little stressed. Okay, so what can I do to kind of alleviate that a little bit? Why? What can I do to get back into the flow of my well-being? What can I do? Can I get off the computer, turn off the phone, just sit and quietly for a few minutes and just listen to music, some music that makes me happy? Can I go out in nature and get regrounded? What can I do right now at this moment to get back into the flow, even just a little bit? And then you'll start to see changes going on. But it's a habit. You got to make it a habit. And at first, it's not going to be easy. Look, you can't dance the tango. You can try because you've seen Dancing with the Stars. You can try. It's not going to look pretty because you gotta learn those steps. You got to keep on repetition over and over and over and over. And that's how you learn it. That's how they keep learning it. You got to keep on doing it. So the more you do it, the more your brain gets trained into feeling right when it feels right and when you feel off.
How come we ever feel off? I mean, the people that listen to you, the people who listen to you and are listening to this show a lot, this is about positivity and about, but why is it that sometimes we just feel like, excuse the expression, we just feel like shit and nothing's going right?
Because we're human beings. We're beings. You can't. I mean, can you always feel good? I don't know. But here's the thing. There's a wonderful person. Her name is Esther Hicks, and she channels non-physical entities called Abraham, law of attraction. And what Abraham says, stop making stuff a big fat hairy deal. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. That's more my saying. But what Abraham says is that you're in the stream of well-being and you're in the flow. Okay. And when you come out of the stream, it makes you much more aware of what you want. You got to come out of the stream in order to kind of like get the contrast that you need. And contrast is kind of like the clay from which we make our manifestation. What I mean by that is that you got to go out of the stream in order to know that you're out of the stream, so you can go and you're like, oh, it's uncomfortable, I'm going back into the stream. But you got to be able to flow in and flow out and flow in and flow out. That's ideally how it's supposed to be. But humans, what happens with us is animals know how to do this. They are masters of flowing in and flowing out, flowing in and flowing out, and flowing in and flowing out. They are masters. Okay, but humans, what happens with us is we flow in and then we flow out, and we're very much aware we're flowing out. Why am I flowing out? I must be doing something wrong. I don't know. I fucked up. Oh God, I'm flowing out. I'm flowing out even more. Oh my God, isn't it awful here? It's just so awful here. Why am I still here? I don't know. I'm still here. Oh my God, I must be doing something wrong. So it's like the more you just shut up and stop, let go of your crap. And that's, and just say, okay, I'm flowing back in. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to make feeling good the most important thing. And then you flow back in, and then you flow out, and then you flow in.
Because feeling good is something that some of us don't feel like we deserve to feel good. I guess I'm not sure exactly what it is, and why we have a tendency to say "woe is me" all the time, or I guess it depends on your life circumstance. I really don't know, because I feel I'm pretty positive most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do I have a real down day. I'm most of the time I'm excited about life and excited about what I'm doing, but I have relatives that are not, and I have folks that are looking at the bad things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
rather than looking at the good things. You know,
Yep.
one of them, but we've talked about them a little bit, but it's we've looked at the bad stuff, and rather than overlooking the bad stuff and getting to what we can control, which is the good stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right. And so give us some Coryelle tips on how to focus on the good stuff.
By not focusing on the good stuff. What I mean by that is if you're really, really hyper focused on something, you're bringing more of that into your it also could throw you out. It could make you very much aware of the stuff that you don't have. If you're aware of the stuff you do have too much, then it can say, "Oh, I got this, I got this." But then again, I don't have a dishwasher. I'd like a dishwasher. I love my house, but I love a dishwasher. Why don't I have the dishwasher? I don't know. It really pisses me off. I don't, so I think what it is that being easy about it. Okay. And being aware of the people and the things that you're bringing into your vibration. This is why I am so militant about certain things. Certain things being, I do not talk politics and religion with people. I don't. I don't get into it. I don't want to hear about it. When my friends start going off about it, I go, whoops, look at that tree over there. Here we go. I'm going over to the tree. And it's like, for me, again, see, this feels right to me. I don't have the newspaper. I don't want to have the newspaper. I don't have the TV, streaming live TV or network TV. I don't watch the news. I don't read the newspaper. I stream everything through my TV, Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime. That's it. Why? Because I want to have control over what I see. And if something doesn't feel right to me when I'm looking at it, I ain't watching it. This is why I've gone through my Facebook, and anybody who posts too much with the politics and animal abuse photographs, I don't know, clowns. I don't like clowns, but I'm sure if you're a clown, I'm sure you're a wonderful person. It's just the makeup; it freaks me out. I don't like clowns. So, stuff like that. There, you get blocked. I unfollow you. I still friend you because you're a human being and I like you as a person, but it doesn't mean I have to see you in my news feed. My news feed is pristine.
That's pretty cool.
Dog pictures, happy dogs, cat pictures, horse pictures. Not one damn political thing. Now, maybe it'll come through once in a while, but then it's gone.
No, but there's some people that would say that you are abdicating your social responsibility.
That's right. Whatever. Whatever. That's your opinion. My dad used to say opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one and some are shittier than others. It's like, that's your opinion. You are absolutely entitled to your opinion. Absolutely. And I am entitled to mine. I was politically driven. I used to be politically driven. I used to read the newspaper, listen to the news, watch the news, get on to different PETA sites and what's another one? The Wildlife Fund or something. I was all part of that. I drank heavily and did a lot of drugs.
Because indeed.
No, I don't.
I will tell you, the more that I do this work, and I've been doing this work a lot, I've been talking with a lot of really talented people like Coryelle here, and I find that I used to be a CNN boy. I would sit down and watch two or 3 hours of CNN a day and stuff. When 9/11 happened, that was an all-dayer. When Reagan was shot, that was an all-dayer. There are some, and it used to drive my wife crazy, which is maybe why she's not my wife. But anyway, so it would be it was an all-day thing because it was history. I got to know what happened in history, and I want it in real time and stuff. Since I've been doing this, it's like it's boring. It doesn't affect me. When something affects me, then I'll pay attention to it.
Right.
I'm a lot less likely to do that at this point because I've got bigger fish to fry, as it were, as you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is going to be another show. Absolutely. But, so I do. So these are ways that you can start to begin to become aware. Watch a TV show and really, and instead of zoning out for a second, bring yourself back into your body and say, how is this making me feel? I'm watching the great baking show, British baking show. How does it make me feel? It makes me feel happy. Why? Because people are making cookies. They're making cookies, they're making scones, they're making cakes. Even when there's stress and they got to get it done, it's a cake. But it's cake. I love it. I love it. It makes me happy. How does watching The Handmaiden's Tale make me feel? Makes me feel like I want to smoke a lot of cigarettes. So maybe I don't want to watch that. Okay? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is and why it's there. It's how it makes you feel. So, okay. So you start to become aware of more of how you feel. So you start to become aware, and you can use it for, everything. You can use it for the traditional medicine, the alternative medicine. You can use it for going in, shopping, not going shopping. How am I lined up? Am I not lined up? And then you can also use it for your animals. Because again, the animals are going in, going out, going in, going out. They're going in, going out. They don't really care. They just want to feel good. So there are some of my client animals, okay, that my clients' animals. Yeah, either one. So there's some of them that we tried the alternative. I always tried the alternative first. Why? Because it's just a way that it feels good that I can prescribe. I can't prescribe tranquilizers. I can't prescribe stuff like that there. So let's try with the alternative route first, see how it goes, and then we'll take it from there. But there are some of my client animals that the alternative is not where they're lined up. They're lined up with getting that little tranquilizer, the puppy Prozac, the kitty Prozac for right now, so that they can then mellow out enough so that then the flower essences that I prescribe can start working, and then they can get off the tranquilizer. So does that make the tranquilizer bad? I don't think so. They're having too much triggered stress, PTSD. Maybe they're having a freak out from, trauma or drama or abuse, and they can't. They're vibrating too low at a low point that the flower essences they're not meeting them. It's too much of a jump. So they have to feel good, and they have to feel safe, and they have to feel calm. So maybe getting them on a drink is the way to go. But I also tell my person, my client, I said, whatever the vet tells you right now, as a dosage, go down to a quarter of that. So if they tell you a full 5 milligram pill, I would tell my person to quarter it and then give that to their animal and see how their animal is in about 30 minutes. And if they feel like they need a little bit more, do another little quarter. Because every animal is different. They're not cookie cutter. A 5 milligram might totally and completely knock out my girl Sacred, but Tao would, be like, not a problem. I said, give me another one.
Exactly. Now, when we talk about the world of healthcare, we have to talk about your energy work because of what you do. And I've got keyed up the film of Willem, if you would like to play that, just so that people understand where that animal was and what you were able to do for it. Ultimately, the condition was such that it ended up having to cross him over, but for a period of time, you were able to help him tremendously. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we can talk about that. We can talk about that. We talked about it in the Healing Shadows episode.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we did.
But so Willem was this big Great Dane, and I had been working with him for, I don't know, maybe 4 years, something like that, 4 or 5 years. And his person sent me a text. One of his moms sent me a text and said, "I think it's Willem's time. He's not. I can't get him up. I have to put him in a harness and get him up. He can't get up on his own. He's pooping and peeing in his bed. Not Willem at all. Okay, this was an extremely proud dog. Okay, would never have done anything like that there. And he's got no energy. And there's a picture of him. She texted me the picture, and he's like standing on just before I sent him the healing. And he's standing in his harness. She got him standing up on the porch, and he's just like, one leg is kind of like a little bit, he's up on his toes on one leg. And he just doesn't look steady, and he's not looking at the camera. He's kind of like out of it. So I said, okay, let me send him some healing. Now, he was the first one I ever did shadow healing on. So I found this shadow. I did a dyad with the shadow, which is one of the techniques that I do now. And I got his chakras. I sent healing to his body, sent healing to the chakras, and healed the shadows. And then his person sent me this video that you're about to show.
And before I show the video, I just have to say that when you sent me the video, I had two choices. One choice was to call you a liar. The second choice was, damn, what she does really does work. I chose the second one, and with that, you need to you need to watch this, because this is Willem. Now, unfortunately, he took a turn for the worse, and they ended up having to cross him over.
Yeah, but that was months later.
Yes,
we did this in, I believe, I gotta look. I believe it was either July or August, and they had to transition Willem last month.
Yeah, so it gave him he felt better, gave him a life, gave them an opportunity to say goodbye, and stuff. So I'm going to play this for you real quick. It's fascinating to watch. From what Coryelle was telling me about pooping and peeing in bed, having to have a harness to get him up,
Yeah.
and then she sent me this.
Come on, go. Run, you guys. Run, you guys.
And Willem was having such a good time with his buddy that Go ahead.
Well, and I should say Willem was the black and white dog. And the reason she was saying run, you guys, run, was because she texted me. She's like, I can't believe this. They're running, he's running around the backyard. I got to take a movie. And of course, the minute that she takes the movie, they're just playing. They're not running. They stop running. So he was running around that backyard.
Good. It was truly amazing. And so there is, I know that that alternative medication has its place.
Yes.
Alternative medicine has a strong place. But as an example, I've had my hip replaced. I tried stuff to help my joints and stuff,
Right.
and it just didn't help.
Right.
Um,
But this is the thing, you weren't lined up with it.
True.
You were lined up with, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. But you were lined up with the allopathic, and that's okay. That worked for you. So you do it with your animal too. You find out what feels right. Okay, right now, and I always tell people, I always tell my clients, what feel into this. Okay. Feel into a tranquilizer, feel into a flower essences. Do these feel right to you? Because what happens also is that if you're lined up with it, because animals are telepathic. So if you're lined up with it and you're like, yeah, this feels right to me too, and it feels right to my animal. So you're going to line up with it. They're going to feel that you're lined up with it, and they're going to also line up with it. But if they're not, if you're like also maybe on the fence with it, and I don't really know about this cold laser stuff, I think it's a bunch of hootenanny, and it's all this kind of stuff. Then the animal might not line up with it. Not always, because sometimes, again, animals are masters of going in and out of their stream of well-being. They don't care. They just want to feel good. They want to let go of their stuff. They don't want to hold on to it like luggage, like we do. Passing it down to generation. Here's depression. I'm going to send. My mom was depressed. My dad was depressed. I'm depressed. Okay, you're depressed. That's fine. But what can you do to let go of that? Because that's their stuff. Stop owning stuff that's not yours to own.
I have to ask you this question. My son has a Labrador Retriever, beautiful dog, and she's about a year. That makes her about 7. In her growing up period and stuff. He came home one time, and my dogs have always done this. My border collie did it. The dog before that did it, and it's like, okay, so he ripped up the house. Or she ripped up the house. Toilet paper was everywhere. She ate an entire loaf of bread while he was at work because he decided, you've been a good dog. I'll let you out of your cage. And so when he came back, she was sitting there in the corner, laying down, knowing that he was going to be mad. Now, my question to you is, was the dog acting like I was contrite because I know you're going to be mad, but you'll get over it and then we'll be good together again? Is the dog thought process, because he was upset, but 20 minutes later he wasn't, and the dog wasn't either. So did the dog get the fact that this is going to pass? Are they that smart?
I'm sorry. I guess you just met me. Let me introduce myself. My name is Coryelle. I'm an animal communicator. And a passion cultivator for people. Yeah, of course. Look, this is also another topic I did for the animal experience. Can animals reason, or is it just instinct? Okay. My cat Tau can open up the cabinets in this house. He taught himself how to open up the cabinets. Okay. And he taught himself how to open it up and then let it slam back. So it slams. So he can get me up from working on my computer because he will open up the cabinet and then let it slam back.
To make noise.
Open it up the cabinet, let it slam back. Yes. Okay, to make noise. Now, that is not instinct.
No.
He taught himself that. I didn't teach him that. I didn't teach him to annoy me. I didn't teach it. I didn't want that.
But he knows how to annoy you really pretty well, doesn't he?
Well, he's a direct and demanding one. So yes, with a bit of a rule breaker. So he's constantly, he's like the MacGyver of the cat world, So yes, animals they're going on a lot of things. So animals are going on the fact that they're telepathic. So, and so are we. If we would just slow our mind down enough, we would realize that. So, all beings on this earth are telepathic. All living sentient beings on this earth are telepathic. They have the ability to be telepathic. So, with that being said, you're sending out this energy. You're in the car, okay? You're in the car and you're driving home and you're like, I let my dog out. She's a good dog. She's going to be a good girl. I know she's going to be a good girl. I'm so excited. She's going to be a good girl. Good girl, my good girl. So you're sending that to them because you're thinking of it. You're sending that to them. So your dog realizes, is getting this mental postcard from you with the oh, she's a good dog. She's a good dog. And then she's looking around. She's like, oh shit. Yeah. Oh, I'm screwed. Hang on. Yeah. And I got no thumbs, so I can't pick stuff up. Okay, I'm just going to sit in the corner because with the big eyes. And the whipping of the tail a little bit.
Yes. Just the tip.
Yeah, just the tip. Yeah. And I'll wait for Daddy to come home. Knowing that I'm going to give him big sad eyes. And stuff like that there. So come on. Of course they're smart. This is another topic. This subject is probably the thing that drives me the craziest is that people just are idiots. If you think an animal is stupid, you're an idiot. I'm tired of playing around and saying, everybody believes what they believe. No, you're an idiot because they are super intelligent. We put them into the thing because we want to feel better than them. And see, this gets my dander up. We want to feel better than them and superior to them. And so we call them stupid. And we're the stupid ones. What? Because I got a thumb and I can turn a screwdriver? I'm better than the horse? What? So I can unscrew my blinds? Big freaking deal. Who cares? Oh, wow. I came down on a tree so I could freaking, use a screwdriver. Yeah, man. It's just, they're not stupid beings. Okay. And we need to stop thinking that way. That's the way they thought back in the Middle Ages. I mean, come on, let's move on, people. Let's move on. Let's evolve. Let's just stop thinking of them as humans, yay, and animals down here. It's boring. It's boring. I just please don't even. You're an idiot.
I have to tell you, if I can, I need to tell you a quick story. Because as you know, I was in the food service business for a long time. And so I worked for a chicken company. And so I've been to a chicken slaughterhouse. I've also been to a cattle slaughterhouse.
Okay, you're not going to tell me what it looked like, right? We're going to omit that. Empathic.
All I'll tell you is that what this is hard to describe. What people say are cattle are dumb. I will tell you that the cow that I looked at right before he was put down was not dumb.
No.
He was fully aware of what was about to happen to him.
Right.
I have no doubt in my mind that the fear that was in his eyes was real. and it was, and so when we look at animals and say that they're dumb and they're just feed and they're just that is such an asinine position to take.
It is. It is. It's old. It's old. It's too old. It's just it's like to me when I and it doesn't happen very often, but when I talk, and especially now with COVID, I don't talk to anybody unless it's Zoom. But when it used to talk to people about animals and they would say stupid shit. I just don't. It's like talking to. It's like talking to somebody, to me, who's brain damaged. It's really, really, really okay. I'm gonna go over here now. I'll see you later. Take it easy.
Well,
Just take it. Okay, just take it. Take it away from me.
take your shit somewhere else because I don't need it here.
Yeah. So, okay. So we talked about the alternative route. We talked about the traditional route. I think it's just really important for people to cue into it so they can find what works for them. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what your vet says. If your vet tells you something and it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. If your acupuncturist tells you something and it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. If your doctor tells you something and it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. Tell them thank you very much for your opinion. I appreciate you. Have a very nice day. And walk out the door.
I did a podcast with a gentleman that has written a book. Then it was how to be the happiness that you can be in your life. And he told me that he sat down in front of his doctor and because he had a foot problem, and this foot was kind of numb and stuff. And the doctor sat him down and said, "Well, son, I'm sorry you have ADL or ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, and you've got 6 months to live. And so get your affairs in order and you're going to be gone." The doctor was absolutely wrong. He'd been bitten by a tick and he had Lyme disease. And there's a form of that can mimic some of the other stuff. So he went through. So and my point here is doctors ain't perfect. They're still practicing. And so they don't know everything either.
Vets aren't perfect either. Acupuncturists aren't perfect either. Energy healers aren't perfect. Okay. I mean, well, I am perfect. No, really. Okay. But not, we have this need for when somebody's got a title. I call myself an animal blueprint expert because I am. Okay. I am an animal blueprint expert. However, I can mess up. I own it, but I can mess up. Absolutely.
Well, but you're still, think about this. You really had the flip in like June or July. And so you've been downloading stuff the whole time and you're still downloading stuff. So but the things with the blueprints and with the chakra and with the touches that you're teaching people and the darkness and the things that are there. I mean, a lot of that stuff is just still coming to light for you.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But at a deeper level than most anybody else I've ever met.
Yeah, but yes.
Thank you for owning that.
And yes, okay, I do. Hey, I own my shit. I do. I'm awesome. Okay, I am awesome. But I want everybody to do the same thing. I keep talking about this. Own your shit. Own it. Just say, I am the shit. I am the bomb. There is nobody else like me. Okay? The animals do it. They own themselves. They know who they are. My girl Sacred is pretty Princess Prancing Pants, and she knows it. She prances around here and she knows her shit. I am hot shit. Yes, you are. Stop toning down your stuff. Stop tuning out, tune in, and own it, and things like that. Yes, I am amazing, and yes, what's been going on with me is nothing short of amazing. Downloading this and getting that and doing this and doing the healing, and I'm absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. Okay. But I still want to say that, it makes me awesome. It doesn't make me better.
Right.
Than a vet or better than this. It makes me, I own my avenue. That's my avenue. Okay. So I don't know. It's just, you either resonate with it or you don't.
By the way, one of these days, somebody's going to be walking down the street, walking towards you, and they're going to be wearing a t-shirt that says "Own Your Shit," and it's going to come from us, and you're going to fall over because it will be because
own your uniqueness.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to just go to Shelley because she's talking. There's somebody here. So Shelley Young Lewis. Sorry. That she says they are smart. Ruby is really sick right now, and I'm very sorry to hear that, Shelley. And at the vet, I told her Sunday I was going to take her to get her feeling better. Monday morning, she went for her morning wee and then walked me to the car as if she to say, okay, take me in to get me feeling better. Good. And I hope she feels better soon. I really do. I'm sending her good energy to your girl. Hey, Leslie. So
occasionally we can even make people laugh in this here forum.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That you've got some real key people that are part of your life, and I think that's just wonderful that you've got all this support that you need.
Awesome clients. I appreciate them very much.
And they take care of you, and you take care of them, and it's a good arrangement to have for everybody.
I try. So yeah, try it on yourself, tuning in to yourself, and then you can tune into your animal, because once you get it on yourself, once you understand how to do it on yourself, you can do it for other situations, and then line up with it. Whatever you're doing, do the aligned action. And if you decide you're going to do unaligned action, I got to go to the post office and not feeling like I'm going to the post office, and there's a line outside the post office, take a second and just say, okay, I manifested this. Now I'm going to manifest something good. So let me take this time now that the universe deems that I need by standing in line, and let me find 5 things to appreciate. Just 5 things. Right around. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Sun is shining. There's no snow on the ground. My car, love my car. Whatever. Just take a moment to get yourself aligned, and then take that to the decision-making counter, because that's where the money is. That's where the juiciness is. That's where the awesomeness is.
I had an experience one time that I'd like, and this goes right along with that. I am in Metroland, because I used to drive a bus for a living. Right. If you're 59 seconds late, you lose your shift and you get written up. You are 59 seconds late 3 times, you're fired. So it's important. So it became really important for me to be on time. And so one time I was late, and it wasn't going to work. It was going somewhere else, but I was late, and it just drives me crazy. And then every light that I hit was red. Everyone. Oh. And it was not just little red. It was like had just turned red. Yep. So it was going to be a while. And I was sitting there fuming and getting more and more. And then it dawned on me, it's like, oh, that's stupid. This is a test. This is a test for my guys to see how much I'll take, because so I relaxed, calmed down. I wasn't going to make any difference as to what time I got there or not.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxed and calmed down, and everything went smoothly after that, because I recognized that I was making myself upset for no really good reason.
Mm-hmm.
I was just doing it because I was being stupid and not following what I should do, and knowing what I could do if I wanted to do it better.
Yeah. I mean, that's a perfect example. You're in the flow, you're getting more and more upset. And there's this, I mean, New Mexico drivers are very interesting. Very interesting. I have never, ever come across drivers as interesting as New Mexican drivers. There's a, I guess it's a driving technique. I don't know. But normally, from us East Coasters, we're used to the fact of the 3 lanes. There's the passing lane on the left, there's the cruising lane in the middle, and there's the slow lane or
Right.
the exit lane on the right. In New Mexico, apparently there's a driving technique being taught, that the passing lane is the hangout as long as I fucking want to lane. And just keep driving. So what this does is this forces everybody to use the middle lane or the exit lane or the slow lane to get around the person, because you are literally driving up to them and they're not moving. And you stay in the passing lane. So there are some days that it seems like, and I'm very hyper aware of it, there are other days that, oh, look, the passing lane is clear. That's cool. They're passing in, going out, going in. Oh, nice. Okay, yay. And then there are days that the passing lane is a shit show. And there's just car after car after car after car after car. So I say to myself, oh, isn't this interesting? Look what I'm vibrating. This is interesting. What am I feeling right now? I'm feeling a little impatient. Okay, I'm feeling a little impatient. Okay, all right. Well, I acknowledge that. So that's the first step in solving a problem, is acknowledging the problem, like I said before. So, okay, so maybe I need to, as opposed to what music am I listening to? Oh, I'm listening to Metallica. Maybe I need to put on some jazz. Maybe I need to put on some nice relaxing jazz. So, you're tuning in, because, and the big thing is, this is the big thing. You ready for the big thing? It's big
I'm
thing.
ready.
Big. Okay.
I'm ready.
Stop making the situation a big fat fucking hairy deal. Okay, it is what it is. I'm accepting this for what it is right now. Doesn't mean that it can't change in the next second. But we have a tendency to make everything a big fat fucking hairy deal. And so we say, oh, look at these people in the passing lane. Oh, fucking in the passing lane. Damn assholes in the passing lane. I can't believe they're in the passing lane. Look at these guys in the passing lane. Can you believe? Talking to nobody, because I drive by myself. But I turn to the navigator seat and I say, can you believe these freaking people are in the passing lane? And there's nobody there.
Do you ever notice how important it is that as you pass those people that are in the passing lane, that you look to see who's there?
Oh, you got to definitely look. You got to give them a look. You got to give.
Yeah, and by the way, that's another T-shirt. Don't make it a big fat fucking hairy deal. That would be a good one.
Stop making things a big fat hairy deal. It's not a big fat hairy deal, because it can change. If you can manifest it, you can change it. So, okay, that's how you get back in the flow, by just saying what is right now. Shelly's dog is in the vet right now. Shelly's pet, Ruby, is in the vet right now. Okay? Boom. That is what it is. But maybe sending her energy doesn't mean I can't send her energy. Doesn't mean I can't send her good things. And maybe that helps her get out of the vet office faster and get home faster. What is right now at this moment, right? I'm on YouTube. What is this is what is right now. I can't spend the hour saying, I can't believe I'm on YouTube with this guy, Kevin. Can you believe I'm on YouTube? There's nobody here, but I'm talking anyway. So it's like, just what is, just accept it and flow with it. And then go with it. Go away from it. If you don't like it.
Understand that you have the ability to change it at any time. That's what kills me.
That's it. If you can achieve it, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So what do I believe right now? What am I giving my belief to? So if it's what the belief, this is why belief is so powerful. I believe that my energy healing is incredible and kick-ass. I believe that there is a place for traditional medicine and vet medicine, and I believe that there is a place for alternative medicine. And because of that, there is a balance. It's balance. It's about being in balance. But I'm also saying I'm not going to say, traditional medicine bad. No, I would never say that, because I want to be in balance. I want to be in a balance.
Everything has its place.
Everything has its place.
I went to a chiropractor for years because I'd hurt my low back, L4, L5. And there were times when I would literally crawl into the chiropractor's office and walk out.
Yep.
And eventually, though, I did something worse to it, and I had a ruptured disc. And that was to the point where it was pressing on a nerve. And there's not a thing that he could do to it's like putting toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah.
You can't get it back in there. And so that's when I made the decision. It's like, I love my chiropractor, but he can't help me with this. So I ended up having back surgery. Right. I haven't had a problem since because of the back surgery.
Because you lined up with it.
I lined up with it. I pursued everything that I wanted it to be. I wanted him to fix it because it cost $20 and I didn't have to miss any work. Yep. I wanted him to be able to fix it. But in this case, it wasn't possible. And when it gets to a point when it's not possible, then you have to do what you got to do next. And
whatever feels right. Whatever feels right. I got in 2015, actually, it's almost it's this month it's going to be 5 years. I got into my first car accident and I was rear-ended and I almost died. And what happened was that I had I got rear-ended. This guy driving, I was standing still because I was about to make a turn onto my road in upstate New York. And this guy comes whipping around the corner and I see it and there's nothing I can do. So he just comes and rear ends me going probably about 60 miles an hour.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Which, so what happened was, make a long story short, what happened was I had a sciatica problem.
Yep.
My whole leg, I couldn't drive or sit for more than maybe 5 minutes. So I felt into what felt right to me. What was I lined up with? Acupuncture? It didn't feel like it was the right way, the right avenue. Not that there's anything bad about it. I love acupuncture. Okay. I have friends who are acupuncturists. All right. I got nothing against it, but it felt like the chiropractor was the way to go. And it took probably 6 sessions or a little more, maybe. But I have not had a problem since.
Yeah.
I have not had a problem since because I lined up with that. If I had gone to the acupuncturist, you have to, and you're not lined up with it, you have to convince yourself that it's the right thing to do. And you're playing with the mind, and the mind is very powerful. The mind will screw you up. So it's better to just what does your mind, where does your mind feel more comfortable? Because you want your mind on board. I want my mind on board. Okay, the train, whatever train I go on, because I don't want to have to fight my mind. It's a lot of work. And then I'm fighting my mind, and then I'm fighting my emotions, and then I'm doubting, and then
You don't want to go
just
through all that.
stop fighting the mind. Just go with the wherever the mind goes, and wherever your feelings go, because that's the way to go.
And that's the way that we are going to go, because we've got to go, because we've been here for our allotted time. And
Hour
hour 10.
Yep.
That's, and the last two have both been 11:11. So we're not going to hit that this time, but we might anyway. Anything else you'd like to add before we run away and have the rest of our day?
No, just feel. Just feel into, pay a little bit more attention to how you feel about stuff. Okay. And that's going to be your guideline. That is your Geiger counter. That is your true north, the way you feel. So stopping up your feelings and just allow your feelings to flow.
And remember to flow right over to the subscribe button, so that you can, we can. I hate to do that, but it's the only way that you can grow on this format.
That's funny.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
Coryelle, thank you so much for being here, and everybody else, you have yourselves an awesome day.
Hey, and thanks for listening to this episode all the way to the end. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, don't forget to follow us so you can receive regular updates and new posts. And remember, take care of each other, because each other's all we've got. See you next time on My Independence Report.